Hey, everybody, nice to see you. It's time for the Bronx Buzz. You're really going to say, well, wait a minute, what's going on back there? It's a different background. We're actually reformatting the Bronx Buzz. This is the second attempt at our new format, and you're going to find it's a little more relaxed, it's a little more conversational, and we are going to just buzz about the Bronx and about people in the Bronx. We're really going to feature some of the best personalities in the Bronx. So right now, some of my favorite people literally in the world. Let's say hello to the Assistant Executive Director of the Mosholu Montefiore Community Center, my buddy Mike Halpern. Nice to see you, Mike.
Hey, how are you, Gary?
And Director of Operations over there at MMCC is Tanika Francis. Tanika, nice to have you with us. Welcome to the reformatted Bronx Buzz. We really appreciate you joining us. So Mike, let's just start with you. Really, since we have the time now, and I don't think I've ever asked you this, where did you grow up? Tell us about your youth. Did you have an organization like the Mosholu Montefiore Community Center to attend and teach you how to run a beautiful place? By the way, we're going to talk about day camp along the way as well. But I want to get to these people as people first. So do tell, Mike.
All right, so I grew up in the Amalgamated. And,
in the Amalgamated? Did
yeah.
I mean, I live nearby. Did I know you as a kid?
We probably played a lot of basketball together.
I was the guy that fouled every time.
And I played a lot of ice hockey down in the Riverdale rink which has certainly changed.
When we had a rink, geez, what is it now? It was Loman's for a while.
It was Loman's, and then I think now
it's just a shopping center. That's right. It is a shopping center. That's what it is. There's a couple of restaurants and everything.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
I played plenty of roller hockey in the PS 95 schoolyard and over in the parks, both Pigeon and Van Cortlandt, and I went to PS 95, which is very interesting because PS 95 eventually, my mother went there, and my grandmother was president of the Parents Association. And then I went there and my sister went there, and we were there for years. And then I went off and my parents moved me up to Westchester. I think I was about 14 years old. We moved to Westchester. And
can we ask where in Westchester?
In Yorktown Heights.
In Yorktown, so that's really in Westchester.
Yes, yeah.
What a difference from the Bronx. Was that a big change for you? Was it difficult,
It was a change. We always had a summer house up in Putnam Valley, which was nearby. So I did have some friends in the high school, and so it was okay. Having played a lot of hockey when I was younger, I didn't get a really good chance to play hockey up there because there was no real good local rink. But I tried to play, like I was up at Bear Mountain a lot, but
let me just ask about that. So now it could be that these rinks weren't available. There's a rink in White Plains.
There was. It was a rink in White
Plains.
Close
to Yorktown.
And we did a little bit down there and stuff, but it was not as convenient to be in a league or anything like that. So I played. It was a pickup high school team, nothing major. We bounced around a little bit, but I found lacrosse, which became my major love.
Wow.
I ended up going to college. I went to college in Plattsburgh and I played lacrosse there.
Wow. And, I just want to interrupt with one thing. I have to ask Tanika a question. Tanika, did you know this stuff about Mike?
I did, actually.
You did? Oh, okay. You did know it. All right, we'll get back to you, and we're going to grill you the same way. Okay, so you went to Plattsburgh and you played lacrosse up there.
I did. There, I went to try and play hockey, but I was the only guy on the team that didn't speak French. So I said,
because Plattsburgh is up there near Canada and all that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something which really brings it up to date, and that is you talked about playing in the schoolyard. You talked about playing basketball and playing roller hockey and everything else that you did. You didn't have the structure that is provided by Mosholu Montefiore and all the other organizations that do so.
That's correct. That's correct.
That's a big statement. Yeah.
Mosholu Montefiore was up the hill. You know, we always knew of it, but it was like a world away. And we had that after school program at 95. and I took part in that. And like I said, I had a summer house, and my parents worked in summer camps. And so by the time I was 5, I spent
the plot thickens.
That's right.
Yes.
Every summer since I was 5 years old in camp, in the summer camp. And here I am, 63, still. It's been every single summer.
Every single summer, still in summer camp. You mentioned your parents, your father. People might know who he is.
So my father was Richie Halpern. He was an assistant principal in the Bronx, and he was pretty well known. My father's sister was Sheila Mencher.
Who they named PS 95 after? I didn't realize that. Wow.
Right. That's right. And so when I graduated college and I decided to start looking for a job, I got a job teaching. I was down in the South Bronx, and then my aunt at the time, Sheila Mencher at the time, was sick, and she eventually passed away. And every principal was at that at the Shiva and at the funeral, and they're all saying, "Mike, why don't you come work in my school? Why don't you come work in my school?" And
what were you teaching a subject or just like grade school?
At the time, I taught English.
English, okay.
And then I remember Mr. Welber was the principal of PS 95 at the time, and he says, "Why don't you just come work at 95?" And I'm like, I don't know. But Herb Bernstein, who was the gym teacher at PS 95 when I was a kid, was also still at PS 95. He says, "Why don't you just come work at PS 95?" So I went back and I worked there for years.
Worked in your old neighborhood. This is fascinating and interesting. At what point, and then right after you answer this question, then we're going to bring Tanika into the conversation. At what point did you get to Mosholu Montefiore Community Center? Like
so when I was in college, I was the head lifeguard of the Northern Westchester Y summer camp. And Don Bluestone was the executive director of the Northern Westchester Y. And he left the Northern Westchester Y. He came down to a new job at Mosholu Montefiore Community Center. And at my first year teaching, I said, "Oh, let me stop over and say hello to Don." And of course, I walked into the building, and Don said,
"That was this building that you're in right now."
Building I am in right
on Gun Hill Road, yeah.
And Don said, "Well, you were 17. I hired you, and I told you you'll be around for a while, so you can't leave. Now you're going to work at this camp." And I said, "Okay."
and that's how you got to Mosholu. All right, time to bring in Tanika Francis. Tanika, nice to have you with us on this reformatted Bronx Buzz. Tell me a little bit. Now, you said when I said to you about Mosholu Montefiore Community Center, you said, "I grew up here." Explain.
I came here when I was 17 years old, and how I got the job was I was in college. I had just started my freshman year. My parents didn't want me to work, but I wanted to work anyway. So I had a project that I had to do. And my college counselor said, "I know a place you can go to." So I said, "Okay, great." She gave me the information.
What college? What college was it?
I went to Lehman College.
Oh, like me.
Yes.
Okay.
She said, "I know this guy. He's a great guy. You'll like him. Go there, and he can put you in touch with the right people that you can interview for your social work project."
And who was that great guy?
Don Bluestone.
Don Bluestone, the same Don Bluestone.
So she happened to know
son, by the way, my family has all been connected to the Mosholu Montefiore Community Center. My son used to call him Darn Bluestone, that darn Bluestone. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So she knew Don Bluestone, and I took the address and I took the information, and I literally walked into the building the next day. And when I walked in, I asked the front desk, I said, "I'm here to see Don Bluestone. He's expecting me." And they put me in touch with Don Bluestone. And I went back to the office where Mike shared at the time with someone named Lisa McCotra, who used to work here, and Lenora Sealy. Mike worked in the office with them, and at the time they were running day camp. Walked into the office. I happened to interview them, and then after I did my internship and did everything, my project was over. The summer, Lisa called me and was like, "You should come and work for us."
Wow.
So that summer, I did SYP. I got picked for SYP.
So for people who don't know, Summer Youth Employment Program.
Yes, this is summer 2006.
Okay.
So 17 to 2006. I said, "Let me just try for SYP." They picked me, got in touch with Bob Altman.
Bob Altman.
Yes.
Mike, how is Bob? I haven't seen him in ages.
Bob he's good. He's just as energetic as he ever was.
All right. Well, you tell him Gary said hello. Anyway, go ahead, Tanika. This is the old home week for us here on the Bronx Buzz.
So got in touch with Bob. Bob was like, okay, you can work the summer for us. We'll see how you do. And if you're great, you can get a job during the school year. So did the summer, worked out great. During the school year, I got another call. It was from Don again. Don was like, oh, we're looking for people for our after school programs. At the time, MMCC only had about 8 to 12 after school programs. We were very small and we basically all knew each other. So that year I worked at PS20 as a counselor. We called them counselors back then, which
That's
are group
the
leaders
school
now.
on Webster Avenue.
Webster. Yes,
See,
next to the
Gary
precinct.
knows his Bronx. There you go. Okay.
So I worked there for the year, and after the year was completed, it was about maybe June, early June. Lenora came to me and was like, hey, you should come and work for our camp. But right when she said that, I was like, okay, great, camp's a good idea. Rita was actually doing her rounds, Rita Santalia, who's the CEO.
And that now she inherited from that darn Bluestone.
Yes, Don Bluestone. Yes. So she came, she was looking at programming, she wanted to see what everyone was doing. And she happened to walk into my cooking class. At the time, it was called Cook Shop. And when she walked in, she was like, I like you. I like your class. You should come and run our Be and Fit program. Go. You can be a part of it for now, and then we'll see how it goes. At the time, Sean Davis was the unit leader for our Be and Fit program, and it's a partnership with Montefiore Hospital. So I came, I worked that summer, and the rest was history.
What I'm hearing, and what I hope people who are watching are hearing, is all of the different things that go on at the Mosholu Montefiore Community Center. The one thing I was remiss, Tanika, because we really grilled Mike about his background. Where'd you grow up? We went right to Mosholu, but where did you grow up? And just tell us something about your youth. Then what we'll do, we'll take a short break after that, and then we'll come back, and then we're going to day camp our way out the door. Go ahead. So
I born and raised in the Bronx.
Where? What neighborhood?
In the Kingsbridge area.
Okay.
My entire life. My mom did move to Brooklyn for maybe 10 years. And then when I graduated high school, I came right back to the Bronx, lived in the same apartment.
What high school did you go to?
I went to William H. Maxwell High School. Okay. It's in East New York.
Mm-hmm.
I did vision technology, and then I realized that education was what I wanted to go into.
Oh.
So when I came to the Bronx,
just like I'm pointing, just like him. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So I came to Lehman and I did education and got my bachelor's in education.
Wow. I'm going to ask you each for a sentence, and then we'll take a break. Mike, why is Mosholu Montefiore Community Center a special place, and why has it captivated your attention these many years?
We just do so many things and help so many people in so many ways. It's just unbelievable. And I just think that I have always enjoyed really seeing the smiles on people's faces, regardless of what program they make their way through, and just really helping and just building. And every year we just want to always get better and do the best we possibly can to help the community.
Boy, that sounds great. Tanika, did he just take the words out of your mouth? Same question. If I asked you, what's your favorite thing about being at MMCC?
There's growth in the families. Yes, growth. I came in as a counselor, and this summer I'll be the camp director. And the families, you literally you grow with the kids. I can't tell you how many kids I had that were my, students, or they were campers of ours. They're working for us now.
Not to mention the growth for yourself that you said, I grew up here. All right, we're going to take a very short break. Then when we come back, we're going to get into day camp, and I have strong feelings about the importance of camp. And we'll be right back. The Bronx Buzz, newly formatted. Don't go away. Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. We are thrilled because the Mosholu Montefiore Community Center has allowed their Assistant Executive Director, Mike Halpern, to take a couple of moments to be with us. And also the very busy Tanika Francis, the Director of Operations, is with us. Thank you guys so much for joining us. To me, the importance of day camp or any camp for a child during those down days and down weeks of summer is just absolutely vital. I'm not going to say why. We're going to allow Mike Halpern to talk about what is beneficial and why all kids, no matter who they are, especially in the Bronx, should go to day camp, the Mosholu Montefiore Community Center day camp.
Well, I mean, camp is such a special place. It's a place where you don't have to be yourself. You don't have to be the same person that you were when you're sitting in the classroom. Some kids struggle. Some kids are great in the classroom, but you get to get outside, get up, move around. You make some new friends. You do some new things. You learn lots and lots and lots. The social development is just unbelievable, and everything that you do is really all about that kind of growth that we talked about before, and really building on, everything about yourself. Like I said, you're making new friends, you're trying new things. It's physical activity, it's different kinds of social interaction. You don't have to be quiet when the teacher's talking. You really
That's great.
You get a chance to try new things and really
I'm going to disagree with one thing you said. You said you don't have to be yourself. I'm going to say it's just the opposite, because all the stuff that you do in school and you get up every day and you go to school and you do that. The fact is, when you go to summer camp, you can be your crazy self. You can run around like crazy. You can, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, you can do all those things. And I must reveal, as I said earlier, I went to that day camp and for a few years as a youngster. And then, of course, both my kids went, as we have established before the show. Mike was a counselor for one of my kids, and then also worked in after school. Tanika, so now you're going to end up being the director now. This is your first year to do that. Why is this amazing for you? And I'm making the assumption it's amazing.
I mean,
Look at that smile. Oh my goodness, we really got a great smile out of her just talking about camp. Go ahead.
Every 5 years, I feel like I grow. This is going to be a new challenge. Maybe different from the rest. Maybe it won't be different. I'm just excited to see what this summer will bring.
As you approach it now, as I've established, I mean, I'm older than, frankly, both of you, that I was at day camp. Is there going to be something new? Is there going to be something that you're going to change? Or is really the challenge is to make it as great as it's been for all these decades?
I think that's the challenge, to continue having it be as great as it is.
Mm-hmm. What makes it great? Come on now.
It's Mosholu. I feel like when the kids come, they're coming out of the city. They're coming into, upstate New York, fresh air, into the woods, new experiences, swimming in a lake.
Swim in the lake, riding the bungee. Yeah, we get it.
Yes. So it's just different. It's different to, many other camps that might have pools or that might do things in the city, might go on trips. Everything that you can possibly do on a trip, we have at camp.
Tanika, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to ask Mike the same question. I believe, and I grew up, of course, in the Bronx and in the city, et cetera. I believe that it's almost more important for kids in the Bronx and for kids in the city to have this opportunity than it might be for other kids. Of course, I'm prejudiced in favor of the kids of the Bronx, so so that you have to put that in there. But Tanika, really, why is this incredibly great for Bronx kids?
Because the Bronx kids are getting a chance to get out of the city. They're riding the bus. It's new to them. Some of them have never been out of the Bronx. Some of them have never been to, the woods. They've never swam in a lake. They've never gone, on a giant swing that swings over the lake and overlooks everything. Some of them have never been on a nature hike. So it's just different for them. It's something new. It's something challenging, and when they get up there, it's facing their fears. It's picking up that frog and showing your friends. It's just very
Wow.
different to what the city's like, and away from the sounds and the cars.
It
So
must be amazing to you, and we'll get to Mike in a second. It must be amazing to you, especially as you grew up in New York City, to watch the faces of youngsters who like, oh, this is what it's like in the country, or this is what it's like when you go to camp, right? I mean, Tanika, I'm like, for you, this, it must be an incredible joy to when the kids like, you want me to touch that frog? I mean,
mhm.
you
It's
know,
even more
they're
incredible
used
to
to
see the
avoiding
parents.
they're used to avoiding the rats and roaches. We know that, but now we're saying it's okay. Go ahead. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
And the parents too. When the parents come for Parents' Day, they're like, "Oh, this is where I'm sending my child. This is what it's like. This is why they're tired every day. This is what they're having fun doing. Like we want to come here too."
I remember picking my kids up from the bus, and they slept on the bus on the way home. There's
Mhm.
no question, because the fresh air and everything invigorates them. Mike, same kind of questions for you. Talk about urban kids and what this does for them. I'm going to add something that Tanika said. Let's see if you pick up on it.
Well, I mean, look, it's not just urban kids. Yes, urban kids, it's a whole different thing. We talked about playing ball in the schoolyard, and here you are outside in the woods on a field, running around playing ball. So yes, it's a different world, different atmosphere. But even when my family moved up to Yorktown, I had a beautiful backyard. And still, camp was another world because the activities are just there for you to do so much. You have your sports, you have every sport you could ever imagine. You have your ropes course. I mean, who's going on a zip line? Only in an experience where you really have a phenomenal camp experience. We have the waterfront where we have incredible bungee trampolines and slides and jungle gyms. And that's not something that you have in a backyard pool. That's not something that anybody does. So yes, the urban kids for sure get this different world, but well,
I'm just looking at these pictures. Look at her face. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, the suburban kids as well. They get the different world. So everybody, camp is a special place. Camp is a place where really you get a chance to try so many new things. And the one thing that we have tried to do at Mosholu is bring in as many new and different activities as we can, so that we could give the kids these experiences. Not every child wants to play basketball. Not every child wants to play baseball. Not every child wants to dance. So, but if you have a day with 8 different activities and you're trying all new things, you learn what you love. My experience at camp, I definitely learned swimming was super important to me, and I became a lifeguard, and ultimately a head lifeguard, which led my way to where I am today, program director, then director, and here I am as an assistant executive director of a
Yeah.
large agency.
The one thing neither of you mentioned, which I know for me is essential, because my best friends today are the people I went to camp with. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no question about it. So we'll start with you, Mike. Talk about the collaborative nature of being. Do you call them bunks because you don't stay overnight, or you call them groups, or
Yeah, so yeah, we call them groups as they
groups?
go around through camp, but the place where they get to leave all of their stuff, if it was a sleepaway camp, it would be a bunk. But
A
we do
bunk.
call it a bunk for a place where they get to leave their stuff, and it's their home in the
Yeah.
woods for the day, for the whole summer, each day of the
Yeah.
summer.
But talk about the relationships and why those relationships develop.
You get so much closer than you ever do in a classroom, because you do have to kind of help each other through so many things. So you develop this really tight relationship. You're on the same team. You're helping each other in a team building exercise. You're working with each other to try and the team who's going to get the most arrows in the target. It's whatever it is. You're working together so much that you're helping each other. You're building this incredible relationship with these new experiences, and only you and the people in your group have these experiences together, so you build this camaraderie that is just unbelievable. You could sit next to somebody in a classroom for years, the same person, and yeah, you're going to get close, but you're not going to have that same opportunity to really help each other. So the teamwork portion of it is what really grows a relationship. and the relationships just develop. And like you said, some people are close forever in their whole lives. I can't tell you how many people I hear they're 60 years old, 63 like myself, saying, "Oh, my camp friend this, my camp friend that," and I'm like, "Yeah, camp is a place where you have these long-lasting, lifelong friendships."
I will tell you, like watching the baseball games. One of my best friends, and he doesn't live in the Bronx anymore. He grew up in the Bronx, but he lives on Long Island. And I text him all night long about what we're watching. And we understand each other. We know more about each other than probably anybody else in the world does. And that's what kind of makes you a better person. Tanika, do you want to just address the notion of kids working together and being together?
Well, definitely. So my niece is actually in camp, and two of her friends that she talks to now that they want to do, parties and do events and stuff outside of camp is because of camp. So, that's what keeps the kids wanting to come back each summer. And then when we get the applications online or, the paper applications, parents are like, can you please group my child with this other camper? Because they want to, see their friends each summer.
And then just think about, they get on the bus together, or maybe they get on different buses, but then meet up there and it's like, whoa, we're together here. And then, of course, what are you doing? I don't know. I have swim today, or I'm, playing archery, or I'm doing volleyball, or whatever it is. Mike, let's get the contact information. Let's get it out there. Let's get kids into camp. They'll be better people. Listen, 2 examples right here. There are jobs in it. There are careers in it if you ultimately feel that way. But go ahead, Mike, wrap it up for us.
So Mosholu Day Camp is incredible. It's an incredible experience. It's a short bus ride away from the Bronx, getting the kids up to the Harriman State Park. We were voted best camp, one of the best camps in America by Newsweek magazine. It is because of everything that we do. The staff is phenomenal. The activities are phenomenal. And yeah, there's a price attached to it. But when you compare this price of $37.50 for 8 weeks to a private camp, which offers even less experiences than what we offer, and they're charging $13,000 to $15,000 for 8 weeks, it's really
hard. The kids will benefit for the rest of their lives. Mike, are you going to miss going up there every day?
I don't get to go every day.
You'll be mad at Tanika because she gets that chance.
I'm good for three, possibly 4 days a week, though. I will, because I've never, like I said, since I'm 5, been out of camp.
Okay, we got to run. The phone number is 882-4000.
718-882-4000. Hit the 0 for the operator, and they will take care of it. It's MosholudayCamp.com or daycamp@mmcc.org.
Mike Halpern, Assistant Executive Director, Tanika Francis, Director of Operations, Director of the camp. Thank you both so much. I'm just going to say I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gary.
And say hello to Rita and all my buddies over there. And that will do it for our reformatted Bronx Buzz. And, if the curtain don't fall and the creek don't rise, we'll be back next week. Good night.